Here you go.
Okay, thank you.
You understand how those work?
Yeah, I do this every day.
In this episode of Trash Talk, I pick up litter with my friend Katherine Blanford, who just released a stand-up comedy special, Catholic Cowgirl. We just talk about everything from having kids to grandparents to the imminent striking of death which will befall us all. So please enjoy this episode of Trash Talk.
When people put their tongue on the bag to open it, I'm like, you never
Wait.
had to do that.
What do you mean?
Yeah, in grocery stores or like when people walking and they get their dog's poo-poo,
They put their
those
tongue
bags,
on the bag?
they lick it to open it. And I'm always like, it's not necessary.
I've never seen that.
You've never seen people do that?
No. You can't, I will use my mouth to open something from time to time, but every time I do it, I'm like, what are we doing?
I saw people during COVID move their mask down and lick the bag and put their bag and then go get lemons and limes.
Was that Louisville?
That was Atlanta. That was ATL.
Yeah. I didn't map out to see if there's a lot of litter, but I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah, I mean, is it a street in LA?
That's a good point. Well, I mean, there's certain streets in LA that don't have litter, but you don't want to know the kind of security and military policing they have to make sure there's no litter there.
For sure.
It's almost more troubling.
Right. The only litter there is just you pick it up and you're like, this is a letter from the IRS.
Divorce papers.
That a man doesn't want to deal with.
Look, we got some over here.
You know what? After living here for 2 years now, as somebody who enjoys watching Farrier TikTok and people cleaning out hooves and stuff.
Yeah. We've talked about that. We love that.
Yeah, I want to power wash just a street. Have you ever seen the streets where it's just two-toned? Around the garbage can, it is straight a black street. You know what I'm talking about? Are you gonna put that in there?
I'm sorry, this is just a shower curtain.
Here, I got it.
You want that in yours?
Yeah, I gotta build a fountain. No, it's incredibly
This
heavy.
is a glove job right here. Yeah. You just hold it
But
open.
this is gonna be. I'm gonna fill my Santa sack already.
We get another one. I was thinking about how gross the stuff we used to eat as kids were. Lunchables are horrible.
It's plastic.
Cardboard
and plastic.
Yeah, people talk about microplastics. We were eating macroplastics. The meat in Lunchables is just a big puck of plastic.
Right. We were having Hot Pockets and Lean Pockets.
Oh, it's brutal.
Yeah, we're screwed. It's fine. Did we get cigarette buds?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is the fun thing. You make your own adventure when you're picking up trash.
Yeah. Okay.
You can just if you see something and you don't want to pick it up, it's not your job, so you can just leave it.
Right.
Did you have a thing when you were a kid that you were obsessed with, and then you look back on it, it was that was killing me and took years off my life?
Yeah. I mean, I was a girl growing up in the 2000s, so I went to a little thing called a tanning bed.
Oh, when you were younger?
Yeah, it's crazy they still even have them. Oh yeah.
How old were you?
I started going probably 12, 13. I know, so I'm I gotta live it up. I have maybe 10 years left.
Insane. And your mom was just we gotta cook this girl?
No, listen, my mom would go with me, but my mom worked for a plastic surgeon. She was a nurse for a plastic surgeon.
You were fucked. You were fucked right from the beginning.
But she would be she would go with me to the tanning bed, but she's I can't go in that long because I'll get in trouble at my job if she finds out I'm going to the tanning bed.
So you take my extra time. Yeah.
Because you don't want to go to a tan or a plastic surgeon's office and all of a sudden your nurse has pleathery skin and she's let's fix these creases right here, and she's like, ma'am, your eyelids are falling off of you.
Yeah, it's much better when her lobster daughter comes walking in. No, that's not mine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about her.
Dude, it was so fun. They had the machine where it's non-invasive lipo, where they just rub it over your stomach and it melts the lipo, or melts the fat off.
Right. They just rub cancer on your stomach, and the fat responds negatively to the cancer.
And she needed to practice, so she brought her teenage daughter in there, and she would just and also she'd be like, we'll start here. And I'm like, I haven't expressed where my problem areas are yet, Mom.
That's
so. She just picked them out.
That's like the girl equivalent to boys having to play football and getting concussions.
Yeah.
It's your like mom's doing psychological warfare against you.
Yeah, yeah. You know what though? I wish she still worked there. Like I like looking back, I'm like, this is everything I want now.
Damn, yeah. You're like, I wish I could have capitalized on that now.
Exactly. I don't give a hoot nanny. This is what I say about like. Okay, so I just went to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And our last stop on the trip was Paris. Sometimes I can't tell if it's a leaf or dog poop.
No, it's tough, but you just grab it.
Right.
You just grab it and see.
When you go down certain streets in LA, you're like, maybe an atom bomb wouldn't be so bad. I know
like
I've been talking about very dark things.
No, I got you.
But it is so horrifically like this world is so filled with trash and junk.
The impulse of that I think comes from this thing where it's like, oh well, how could this possibly get better? Like this is so far gone.
Right.
I think that's an impulse people have when they see something and they see like a problem that they can't fathom ever coming to terms with. But I think you can't. Like when you see like Skid Row, for instance, it's like I've gone there with like other comics, especially during the pandemic and stuff, to hand out water, and you look at it and you're like, how could this possibly get any better? But then you hear the history and how it like became Skid Row, and you're like, oh, I guess it's just time. Like if you take time in the right direction, like it'll probably get a little bit better.
Yeah.
Maybe, or I mean, like I also have the same thoughts of like how this is like impossible.
Sometimes I like to play what if and imagine like a world 200 years from now if we all die and like what animals are thriving and what animals aren't and what animals are surviving, what won't.
Yeah, rats would have a hard time, I think. We've really become close to them. Yeah, they'd have I mean, what, now they have to like fight with, bigger animals over shit? They figured it out.
You know who I also don't think?
What are we talking about here?
I wanted to take 3.
How unpopular is this candy?
I see this and I go, you're right. Rats wouldn't survive without us.
I mean, look how good they have it. Look how good. And you want one?
This is literally a message for rats. Don't be a greedy rat. Take 2 stale pumpkins.
Come on, there's a lot of rats to feed.
Yeah, that's vile.
You want this one?
Yes, thank you.
There you go.
You know what else I don't think would survive without us? 1, Pomeranians. 2,
oh, yeah.
I don't think chickens will survive without us.
No. Well,
and or goats.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an or.
Any animal that we've really like coddled, I think, is over.
Yeah.
But we also coddle ourselves. We've just brought them into the fold. I don't think we get enough credit for that. Like PETA, and I understand their gripes, and a lot of them are valid. But it's also like, hey, listen. We put Pomeranians on the come up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we put in, I mean, we
put a lot of species on the map, too.
Chihuahuas and pugs around, and we literally have to artificially inseminate them.
Yeah.
And every second of every day, they're begging to die. And we keep them alive, and we keep
because we love
them.
Yeah, exactly. But you were talking about Europe.
Yeah.
You just got back from there.
Jewish birthright, you go to Israel, right?
Yes.
I do think for every woman that hits 31, 32, your birthright is Paris. This is where you cash in. You're entering into the phase of womanhood where you're stronger because of it.
Yes.
You know
I understand what you're saying.
Your 20s was your Marine Corps training.
Yes.
And now you're a bad bitch.
Into womanhood, and now you go to Paris.
Yeah, because you go to Paris and they shame you. They stop. They don't take any bullshit.
No.
You know what I mean? They don't go, do you like this? Do you like me? They're standing in their own right. And you could sit at a cafe and drink an espresso and watch people walk by for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And no one's wearing sweatpants.
Yeah,
everybody's dressed. Everybody's making shit work. They're
right.
standing up. They're no longer taking people's shit. You
right.
know what I mean? But they're also like, it's almost as like everyone in Paris is like a very higend ballet institute instructor. You know what I mean? They're like, sis, no, sit up straight.
Excuse me.
We will no longer be acting like
they're
this.
Not even explaining the correction. They're just like, up.
They're like, is that how you decided to dress today? I feel like when you're like in your 30s and you enter that, you're like, yeah.
You're
That's
saying,
how I am
so you're
living
saying
life
like
now.
Paris is like girl Tel Aviv.
Yes.
Interesting.
You're drinking to drink socially. You're not drinking to be shit-faced drunk anymore.
So you're saying early 20s, don't go to Paris, go to
No.
Nashville.
Go to. Yes, 22.
Yeah.
That
Nashville, and then when you make the transition to Paris, you know you've come to a different.
Yeah. You better be a different bitch. You're not ready for Paris yet.
I just went to Nashville, and I was on the plane, and obviously the like probably incredibly unfair stereotype of Nashville where it's like it's all bachelorette parties.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in the middle seat.
Yeah.
The 2 women to the side of me, and the 3 women in front of me, and the 3 women behind me are all part of the same bachelorette party.
Why would they let you sit there?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't they say, sir?
I think maybe I picked the seat before all they did, and they were like, oh, well, but we have this circles of seat around whatever fucking unlucky bastard
Right.
is going to be in the middle.
But I could see them being like, that was an old poopon. You're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
We're mostly podcasting now. So it kind of equals each
We're
other
doing
out.
both. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Thanks,
you're
buddy.
Right. We said we're podcasting. He flips us off and goes back inside.
He shoots us from his porch.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here.
He'd be right,
Scram.
too. What do we make of this? It has one googly eye on it.
Like, how does this end up here?
These are the fun questions.
I see this. You know what I say?
What's that?
I say everybody should be euthanized by 72. We all get 72 years.
You think this is an older person who did this?
I think that this is we go, humans have gone too far.
Mm.
Look what we.
You say dial it back a little bit.
This is an insane person. This was their Wilson. This is what they were bringing around for a long time. And then their relatives came for them, and they made them leave. They made them leave Arthur on the street.
What's that, Arthur? You want me to play with your nose hole again? Well, I know you like that so much, Arthur.
Arthur, not too early in the morning.
A guy took a FaceTime in the middle of my set. It was like the drunkest set ever, and a guy literally took the FaceTime. I saw this all happen because everything was so chaotic, and he took the FaceTime like, hey man, no, I'm at the comedy show, and then he puts the camera to me on
Right.
the stage.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm at the comedy show. Look at this fucking comedian. And there's no security or anything, so it just.
No,
So we just carry on. I was just like, hey, please stop doing that.
Hey, you have no idea, but other people disrespect me more because I don't care if you disrespect me, but
Right.
now other people now.
Right, yeah, they know they can do anything to me now,
Yeah.
it'll be fine for them. Yeah.
Right. And now it's going to be hard to sell this new bit I've written.
Yeah. Yeah, this bit about how sometimes you shouldn't listen, you should empathize.
Right, and you go, God. You go, sometimes bullies always win.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff.
Really good.
What were we talking about before?
I just was saying as a child, I don't know if this is messed up, I enjoyed playing homeless.
No, I understand. You're a kid, yeah.
And so I would put my little brother in a wagon, and we would wagon up to the top of the neighborhood, and I would write signs. I would write on cardboard, help us, feed us.
Yeah, well, that's clearly, not to pathologize it, but it's that's just an attention thing.
Is
for
it?
Sure, yeah.
I thought it was like an adventure kind of thing.
It was both, I'm sure.
Okay, and then I would, this is really weird. I would take my family's things, this was weird, like a family calendar or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then I would just walk around the street holding it up on the sidewalks and be like, $2, and just try and sell random objects in our home. I think I was entrepreneurial.
No, I can actually not to one up your story, but when I
No,
was a kid,
please.
me, my sister, and her bad friends, we would go door to door and say we were collecting money for an animal sanctuary.
Oh, they knew.
But then we weren't all the way bad, and we told our parents because it worked so well.
Yeah.
And we told our parents.
What? People knew. They were just like, look at these little psychopaths.
Right.
They're going to be in jail soon. Let's give them money while we can.
Well, it was such a nice neighborhood that I think they were just it was just insane. But
Yeah.
then we told our parents, and they made us actually give it to an animal sanctuary. So at the end of the day, it was good. but-
Right. I love how you called her friends bad.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I
you were like-
didn't have any friends, so I didn't.
Was this a tortoise that got melted?
This is alive for sure. There's something going on here.
Yeah. This feels like when you're a child and you're did you ever do that as a child? Did you ever look for conspiracy theories just as a kid?
What do you
And
say
you'd look-
conspiracy theories? Tell me.
Like we made up, we were like, we're gonna search for the snakes, the government snakes that are underground, that are spies. You didn't like make up things like that? And
I
go
think you need to have a
searching for
certain kind of uncle to have that
Yeah,
already in your head.
them? I don't know. You know what? There must have been something in those Lunchables.
No, like I think every town or whatever has these conspiracy theories of like, oh, there was a kid who fell down that well or
yeah, those
whatever.
were fun, and you go
Yeah.
search for them and stuff.
Yeah. We would do
Yeah.
that. We there was this family that used to like own a lot of properties called the Zoras, and we would always be like,
what a
oh,
name.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Oh, look at this.
That's straight out of. Oh yes.
This is what we're talking about.
Get this on cam. What does it say? I don't even know.
It says, have you voted?
Damn it.
Too late.
Oh damn.
Uh-oh. If you have not voted, you are invited to watch Life, Liberty, and Levine tonight/Sunday, 7 p.m., Channel 32.
Dude. This is not where I thought that letter was gonna go.
No, yeah. That was
I
a little better than I thought.
This was incredibly wholesome, but
Yeah.
I have a sneaky suspicion people, if they ended up taking this invite and walking in,
Yeah.
comically regretted it.
Yeah. Life, Liberty, Levine. That's some home film. That's a
think-
snuff film for sure.
Is that Adam Levine coming out as an independent?
Imagine coming out as an independent.
Yeah.
I
Doing the
want you
brave
guys
thing.
to know, I am officially saying I am stupid.
I'm officially a pussy.
I'm officially letting you guys know I would like to keep all of my money and all of my fans.
Yeah. And I'm not committing to one evil or
I
the
am not.
other. You know who? Oh, I need to tell you about Martha.
Martha. We're
Because
talking
you
about
haven't
Martha.
watched it, right?
Mm-mm.
Dude, now I'm biased, so you're going to be watching for it. But it is, first of all, I know we use this term loosely, but I'm like, she's autistic.
Yeah,
Here's-
you think so?
Or maybe she's not, but the thing I was obsessed with about her, and I was like, why haven't I known about her more? All just so fascinating.
Oh, I mean, yeah, she's a genius.
From where she started,
Yeah.
she started with just buying a home with her obviously rich husband,
Sure.
but then like just starting a catering business and just took it to the next level and took it to the next level, took it to the next level. And then, but the whole time they're like asking her about her husband and the divorces and everything, and she could not give less of a shit about any personal relationship.
That's what happens when they ask her about like prison and stuff. She's always like, I've moved past that actually.
Yeah, it's
There's
so
like-
funny and interesting because like she's such a powerhouse, and it's so fun to because it's inspiring to be like, oh, you think like you put yourself in this little box and you go, I need to do these 3 things that people are doing that are on my level or whatever else.
Right.
And then you watch her and like she was always like looking light years ahead.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. You know what I mean? And like I was like, oh, that's really dope. But it also was cool to like see her as like in a world that's like pretty woman dominated, obviously homemaking.
Sure.
But she never made it about
I don't think that's
serving
in her.
herself for other people.
Well,
she was just like, here's how you make this art.
Yes.
And it's so funny because like obviously she's a woman, she's successful, so they kept pushing. They were like, what's our angles, what's our spin, what's our downfall? One, she's a bitch. It's also like, yeah, no shit.
I mean,
Anybody that's successful is a bitch.
we gotta stop. Yeah, I mean, like, there's also levels of that sort of thing. I haven't seen the documentary yet, so like, I just start watching it and she's like shooting people. But I do think
Yeah,
like,
but you go watch a high school football coach rally his kids up, and he's
Oh
like,
my God.
hey, all y'all stop being pussies. all right, or I'm gonna knock each one of you out with my mom's tampon. And you're like, that's a good guy.
Yeah.
What a strong coach.
That guy's teaching these boys to also be psychopaths like we want.
And then you see Martha, and she's like, why would you use that small knife? Use the larger knife to be more efficient. And you're like, what a cunt.
Fuck her.
Yeah. But like, it's that they pushed, and then the other thing that they kept pushing is about how she's so lonely. She's so lonely. She's so lonely.
Right.
And then everything she says, she couldn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
Romantic relationships. And at the very end, it's my favorite because she's just constantly talking about her business and being challenged and reinventing herself, and she's obviously so good at it. At the very end, they're like, she's so lonely, and then she makes some comment about her estate and how she has like 2,000 something trees on it.
Yeah.
And it zooms out, and she's driving on a golf cart, and it's this enormous estate with this huge, beautiful garden, and you're like, she's not lonely at all.
Yeah.
This is her.
This is what she wanted.
This is her husband. Is her 2,000 trees. You fucking idiot. They just like can't not make that the narrative.
Yeah. With like any like documentary about like a high-powered woman who doesn't have a dumbass. Well, the other option for those kinds of women is having just those dumbass slack-jawed husbands who like are just props for the narrative.
What is it?
I think we have some gas station boner pills and emptied out cigarettes.
Whoa, dude, that guy was having a rough night.
Dan, do you think he was making one big super cigarette?
Yes, dude, why are these all empty?
The thing about like Hillary Clinton, where you can say what you want about her, it's like the reason she stayed with Bill after all that like thing was not because she was like a loyal, it was like a business decision.
That's what I saw with Martha, the guy that she got a divorce from, and she's like writing him letters before they got a divorce. She's never saying like, I hate that you're with other women.
Right.
You can clearly tell she's like, I don't want this business interaction to go haywire.
Right.
You know?
I don't want this to ruin that's what she says about prison. Like the one thing she says about it is not like I was traumatized from it or whatever. She's always like, I lost so much money.
Right. That's like all she cares about.
Yeah.
And it's like, or that she like is away from her business and not growing her business. It's just so funny to like, it's dope to just be like, oh, your life, you can just make it your own and you don't have to worry about like another person loving you.
Right. Yeah, you can. I mean,
you can be fulfilled other ways.
I think there's certain people that are like that, but I think most people need some sort of a balance. But yeah, I think like to judge everybody based off this like very narrow idea of like, oh, well, this is success, this is happiness. It's like, no, sometimes you just need 18 hollowed out cigarettes rolled into one giant blunt and then like 14 dick pills. And then you go out on the town and you figure it out. And that's really America.
And you go, ladies, anybody looking for a 2-hour smoke break? I got a dick pill that can last me that long.
And I took 20 of them.
Yeah. I like how it says this street is dolphin safe.
Oh yeah, and it's absolutely not. There's a bunch of trash down there.
For sure.
I wish we could get in there.
I think that's where the trash is supposed to go.
Oh, in the drain?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the dolphins will figure it out. They're all greatest allies.
One of my big things for 2025, but I started it on Halloween. I'm not gonna buy clothes for one whole year.
Really?
It's so liberating.
Okay, that's cool. Was that like your big expense?
Yeah, and I was just buying, like, I was getting stressed out because I'd get a text message and it would be like, oh, it's a sale. And I'd be like, fuck, I don't have time to look.
Right.
I gotta go.
Right.
I've got a doctor's appointment and I gotta go
cause this
kiss
stress.
my grandma goodbye. But I gotta go look through this Aviator Nation sale, take advantage of it. And now it's like, it's so fun to be like, I'm not even gonna look at that at all.
Right. Grandma, you would appreciate if you saw how snatched my waist looks in this.
Right, I know. It does. It is. I hit my first hiccup when I was like, I don't have anything to wear for this wedding.
Right.
But I don't know, dude. It's pretty liberating.
Cool.
I'm digging
With
it.
this rule, can you borrow stuff from your friends?
Yeah. Just not spending any money on any clothes. It's pretty. But I'm like a shopaholic, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love looking pretty funky.
Now that you don't spend a lot of money on clothes, what do you think like the
It's
next
by the way,
thing
it's
is
been
gonna
2
be?
weeks.
Okay. I won't talk about this like it's a done deal.
Right. Now that you're a humanitarian,
now
that you've won a Nobel Peace Prize.
I've won a couple.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
But I would suggest this for people who are shopaholics. Just give yourself a cold turkey.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, it's pretty addicting losing all the stress from it.
Do you have an addictive personality otherwise?
It's kind of crazy. You would think I would, because my family does, but I don't really.
I always say that because are your parents recovery people?
No, they never knew they had addictions.
Right.
But, mostly alcoholism.
Yeah.
But I think I reside more on Martha, and that, like, I get my rocks off by, like, not letting go, but latching on to, like, things that could equal success for me. That's probably my addiction.
Yeah, you're very success-minded. I think that's a great thing. You write so much material so quickly.
Yeah. I think that must be why I loved Martha so much, because I was
I can see that.
Maybe I'm kind of normal. I don't like.
Oh, come on.
Never mind. I have a heart. Never mind. But I like throwing myself into challenges that equal success. I think that's more fun than like getting lost in the world and drinking it all away.
I agree with you.
If you find that thing that makes you like addicted to it, it'll save yourself from.
But don't you think a little bit of that is like kind of running away from certain aspects of life? Like some people use it for that at least.
I think people have children to run away from life.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think people do normal shit that society tells them they should do.
Yeah, and kids don't get you an estate, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Kids don't buy you the estate.
No, I think people have kids because they go, my life is unfulfilled and I haven't found my thing, so I'm gonna have kids to give myself purpose.
Sure, not always though.
No, I think always.
You think always?
Trash does something to my mind.
Yeah, no, it frees you.
Humans suck. Let's stop having kids. Actually, this is the third podcast in a row where I've been like, you guys don't need to have kids.
Yeah. I mean, I understand the sentiment for sure.
Yeah.
I just think
it's really dark.
Maybe we're doing a little bit of projection here. I understand why you would want one, because they're so like cute, and it's like amazing to watch something like learn and grow under your watch.
Right.
And some people are amazing parents too, and they make great kids, you know?
Yeah, but I think most people aren't.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people aren't.
2.
That's the tricky thing.
We should max at 2 kids.
I love like the old school mentality of like, we're gonna have 8 kids, one of them's gonna end up really messed up, and we're just gonna move past that. We're gonna move past Jonathan.
It's like it's an odds game. One of them's gonna do great.
Yeah.
Half of them are gonna do really bad.
You're just like, we're burning one kid here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're just gonna let one.
And it's very survival of the fittest. They go, we're gonna let you guys figure out who gets burned. People had kids back in the day because kids equaled money.
Right.
Like Catholicism, a lot of people were farmers, and those are farm hands. The more farm hands you had, the more crop you had, the equals money. Kids don't equal money anymore.
Yeah.
And also the kids are surviving. Half of those kids died off too.
Right.
So like.
Which is why you had so many, yeah.
We cap kids at 2, and you can elect to dip out after 75. At any time you want.
Yeah, my grandma loves the idea of assisted suicide. She's still alive, but she's like, the second I start forgetting stuff, I'm out of here, deal with it.
Right. I think the world would be a better place. I don't know why I've been talking about this so much.
Yeah, why do you think that is? Let's dive a little bit deeper.
Well,
have you been thinking about kids recently? Like in a negative way?
Well, I think I'm getting at that point where all my friends are starting to have kids.
Right.
And some of them are struggling to have kids.
Right.
And then I was a nanny for 8 years for
right.
one family, so I raised these kids.
Sure.
And I'm like, I think I did all the hard parts of raising a kid without the love of them being my own.
Right, and that sort of probably soured you on it a little bit.
So soured me.
I think that's what's interesting about people in the child care industry in general is like the ones who don't have kids, it's probably because they're turned off of it. They're probably like, this is terrible.
Right? Like, you know, it's like if you worked at I don't know, the back house of an Italian restaurant, I could understand if you never wanted to eat spaghetti again.
Yeah, you don't want stromboli after you fucking see how it's made,
right.
For sure.
Right. I would like to apologize for things I may have said.
Yeah, go ahead and say why you're apologizing.
No, I can't.
You can't? You don't want to say it?
We just learned. No, I can't.
We just learned one of the camera guys has a kid and his grandma just died.
His grandma committed suicide a month ago.
Committed suicide a month.
I'm in a dark place. Everyone's in a dark place, you know? So.
And sometimes you go get rid of the kids, and maybe this is a sign for you to maybe pick up your attitude a little bit on these. And also, there's a playground, an active playground right now off in the distance, and isn't that beautiful?
It is really, no, it's not beautiful. The sound of children stress me out because children is very mundane. You have to do the same thing over and over and over again. And I hear those sounds and I think about going to the park every day with my children.
Right.
And just counting down the minutes till I was off from my job.
Right.
So, God, I'm really depressing.
How did you feel about picking up trash?
That was really cathartic.
Good,
like, it was
good.
the point where, like, even when we were done shooting and we were crossing the street, I was like, I saw a piece and I couldn't wait to grab it.
I think you did great, too.
Yeah.
This is a 3-bag day. This is huge.
This is what, see, I think this is like, if you did if everybody did an hour of this a day or like once a week.
Yeah, never gonna happen, but it's a great thought.
God, it's wonderful. It's it's so easy. It makes you feel good about yourself and it's super easy to do.
I was wondering if you wanted to plug anything of yours.
Yes, I have a special coming out. I talk about all positive things. No death, no child cap. It's called Catholic Cowgirl and it comes out on YouTube December 5th.
Oh, let's go.
Pretty much like a whole year in the making. Please watch it, and maybe if it does really well, I might come around to ideas like that children and grandparents are good.
Please support Katherine for the good of everyone in society. And thank you so much for watching Trash Talk, everybody. I really appreciate you. Have a good one.
Toodles, bye.